Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we're going to be playing some more Raise the Past, a archetype that I've not been able to play all that recently just because the meta is just way too fast for it, and I got demoted down to gold. The new season's here. Would you call it I guess reset, because it's not a demotion. Just reset, but we got put in gold. This is typically where I can kind of play a lot of decks that I couldn't normally play in any other rank because Heartfire Hero, Monster Strays, double striking, 12 damage tends to keep us out of that situation. But other than that, we are going to be playing a life gain bat version of the deck with Raise the Pass in it. If you don't know what Raise Pass is or the kind of archetype that we're going for, we're going to discover it very quickly. And I'll give one note about today's video, as you'll see a smile of death, but we'll cover that in a second. One of the main things we want to start off is with the Gorehound. This is kind of our graveyard initiator. Any creature of ours that enters the battlefield will pretty much trigger this, guaranteed. With power 2 or less entering the battlefield, we surveil one, oftentimes putting creatures into our graveyard, especially the clerics like this one, because we want to bring them all back with Raise the Pass, so it's typically just digging for this card. Other than that, we have the Sanctificer as a 1-drop life gainer. Whenever a creature enters, we gain life, which helps other effects. Runelurker Bat, just kind of a good solid card. Essence Chandler, to be that creature that gets really large from our life gain that can either stabilize the game or win whenever we attach Shelter by Ghost to it. We have the Pilgrim in here as our kind of extra copies of Sanctificer, but also if we get board wiped by like a Day of Judgment, we also don't leave the battlefield empty-handed. We ping them for a ton, which oftentimes can just be enough for lethal. And then we have Deep Cavern Bat for disruption, Amalia for value, and Shelter by Ghost kind of meets that requirement that I've talked about. If you're building a standard deck at all, there is 4 cards you have to basically be playing, and that's like Heartfire Hero, Shelter by Ghost, Temporary Lockdown, and then I can't remember exactly what the third one is. Or Corey Steelcutter. Yeah, so you kind of have to be playing those 4 cards if you want to be having good success in standard right now. So Shelter by Ghost obviously fits this description as a 4 of, and you'll see why in the video this fits one of the descriptions. Well, all that said and done, Raise the Pass says return all creature cards with mana value 2 or less from the graveyard to the battlefield. All of our creatures meet that requirement. So outside of Shelter by Ghost and Smile at Death, every single one of these creatures meets Raise the Pass requirement and will come back if they're all in that graveyard, if they've not been exiled or, we just haven't got there. Smile at Death is an interesting card. I wanted to try it today at the beginning of your upkeep. Return up to 2 target creature cards with power 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield, put a 1/1 counter on it. Oftentimes we get to dig pretty deep with the Gorehound, and oftentimes keeping a land is the best choice because of our hand. So if we do hit that 5 mana, we look to play this. However, I will say a little bit of a spoiler here. This card does not show up, and honestly, we have some thoughts about it in the outro. So, if you want to see what we said about the card and what we kind of evaluated throughout our games, even without playing it, what we think of this card. So overall, we're going to go game. So with that said, let's go do that. Oh yeah, I mean, sure, right? We got some life gainers. We got Amalia to help out a ton. Got a good creature to throw in after. A Shelter by Ghosts on the horizon, I suppose. So we'll just have to take a couple lands. Hopefully find a Raise Pass. Of course, our mono red beloved hero. And the 1 white source we have is going to ping us all the way home. Sucks, but it is what it is. But we'll play an Amalia. Oh, Shelter by Ghost could be a thing now. I'm not even calling the bluff. Alright, well, they paused for 4 minutes, so we know it's obviously something there. Amalia? Most likely a protection spell if I had to actually guess what it was. Away, please. Yes. If they double attack after maybe doing something, then we definitely know. Ethereal armor, sure. Yeah, so we punted that one, huh? I'll just take 3 here. So no white mana here means I'm definitely just going to Shelter by Ghost away this Heartfire Hero. I wish I could hit a land, but players can't be choosers, I suppose. And that, please. It's going to attack. 4 life to gain, plus it might hit a land for me to play another creature. or more creatures. 12 cards deep on 2 lands, which is like brutal, but at the same time, it just is what it is. Our Sanctificer here probably now has to block. Actually, still doesn't. They're also stuck. Brother, what are we doing? Where are we going? I just found the land, man. All right, we go first. This is arguably the best hand we've had so far. We'll keep. Don't necessarily need to surveil all too much right now, so I'm just going to go to the life game plan for a while. Maybe we'll get to this. We don't really want to find this early, but there's a higher claw, sure. There's another Chandler. We get to play this down, play Chandler, and then next turn, unless we value the surveil more, it's kind of weird, right? Because on some case we want to play Gorehound and then play the other Chandler. I feel like that's just wrong. They can pump this, but they can also just Monstrous Rage it. But Monstrous Rage doesn't solve the problem, so I guess I'll try to block. Sure. Have another way to pump it? Or did you realize that wasn't going to work? Still doesn't work. You only get 1 roll token there, boss. So, yeah. I mean, I'll take that all day, upside down, twice on a Tuesday. So now I think we want to start surveilling since they have no threat. I know we missed a counter on the Chandler. Pretty attuned to that. We now either want a land for Smile. Pilgrim's actually not that bad. I'll take that threat. If I get a surveil, I gain life. And then Chandler will be a bit more of a threat. I can also take a damage here to give this flying if need be. But, ooh. Am I surprised that I am against the Screaming Nemesis? Not really. Go in here. I'll just have to win this one the old-fashioned way. Alright. Here's a good old 4 bopping. And then if they don't do anything, and if they just shoot this with something, I don't really care. I'm just going to Shelter by Ghosted, I suppose. You have to watch for Lightning Strike. Oh. That isn't going to get the job done there, Chief. Here to here, and then now, I mean, I'm going to get as aggressive as I can. I have 15 with 3 cards and a Nemesis on board and playing a Nemesis last turn. I'm just definitely in there. I think the attack I don't think went the way they wanted. I realistically think my thing was a 3-2. They should have just spent 2 mana to pump this and saved their rages, but it's okay. Alright, going first. Not maybe the best hand of all time, but a playable hand, I believe. Just because we have the Surveil land, we can go right into Amalia. This card's good. It's just going to be good, right? Maybe giving that to Amalia is just going to be... Oh, maybe not. I don't know. Blue mana, scary. Horrifying, even. Yeah. Yeah. Alright. I'm afraid. I commit nothing. Alright. I guess. I literally was never going to play around that. I thought it was going to be like Mono Blue Hottie Gen, so... It's Merfolk. Okay. I feel justified not playing around this. To be honest with you. I fully feel vindicated. Like, I'm okay, you know. Tidebinder's a thing. The Flood Pits are all things that can happen. I guess go to combat? Here? Sure. Uh-huh. Now I have the Raise to Pass, but I have nothing in my graveyard. It's one of my reasons I don't really like not having blue in my decks. Just kind of sucks in spots like this. Just Shelter. Yeah. Our trap card has now been activated. We have so much riding on this one Deep Cavern Bat, by the way. We got our whole game plan riding on this Deep Cavern Bat. That is Ward a billion. One attack. Gonna gain 3. We're gonna be pretty pumped about that. They attack for 3 or something. No, I'll just let it go. Move to combat. Alright. Yeah. Go ahead. I, for some reason, have all the lands in the world right now. Interesting. A little part of me kind of wants to play what my opponent's playing. It's kind of sweet. Or just, like, go play fairies or something. Oh, yeah. This is a merfolk. Gosh, put them on counter on each and everything. All that magic, you know. I mean, I'm gonna do this, I guess. At some point, they have to have a counter spell, right? I would like to cast 4 mana, put Amalia into play. Alright. Come on. Still have, like, the flyers. Gain life. Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sure. I'll pass on that for now. We'll have more lands. No. You're not worth it no more. Interesting cards. They're tapped out. Was my opponent just completing a mono blue challenge? Is that what we're doing? It'd be really funny. I bet. Bernier. Nope. Or maybe I should have kept that. I don't know. Get another scry too, so I guess maybe not. Me and coach. I guess also making Amalia huge would have been an okay idea. I'll need the other Amalia. Got a scry now. Now they won't know what I'm looking at. Yeah, we'll keep that. We're just in survive territory. They could technically draw a card. Draw X cards, put a 1 counter on each. So they could do that, right? Kind of surprised they didn't. I guess that throws these anyway, right? Done that for a turn? Sure. Yeah. Only problem with Primeboard Cutthroat is the fact that, like, they never have trample or anything, and they don't have enough bounce here to do anything. So I'm gonna make this easier for my opponent. I'm gonna do this, and then we'll get 2 drains, and then the Deep Cavern Bat will attack. Never know, they might draw something, I guess. One of Tidebinder. You rip it. Maybe a counter spell. That'd be sick. That would indeed be sick. Bounce my Sanctificer. Or leave. I don't know. Okay. It's like, alright. There we go. Alright. I mean, pretty solid hand, I would argue. Against Prowess. Surveil first. The turn doesn't really change, kind of depending how we do this. I'll keep that. I understand that's a lot of mana, but when we get these Gorehounds online, it's going to be kind of a different story, I think. Oh, alright. Slide a hand into Twistspear? Okay. So, I mean, this had to be the draw off slide of hand, right? Like, there's just no other reason. For this, now he's Any land we see forever is just gone. Shelter's probably okay. But how do I go about this turn though? No. Okay. Nothing like playing against Corey Steelcutter in gold, you know what I mean? Or is it Prowess? #1 best deck. It's like fine. I don't typically mind. That might be hands down the best thing that could happen for us. Oh yeah, even better. Heck yeah. Alright, well now I'm pretty pumped. A little part of me, no, I don't know why I'm saying a little part of me. I know exactly what my play is here. Warhound. Here. Runelurker Bat. I guess, like, can I keep you? I shouldn't. I shouldn't keep you. We'll shelter. This will come in. We'll get rid of this little token. We'll attack, just gain a little bit of life. And now when we play Amalia, we can do also that's Chandler and then attack, maybe gain life, depending if they have removal. It does cost 3 mana, and they don't really get anything out of it. No blocks from me. There's like a 0% chance I'm dead there. There goes Slick Shot. Now there's not a 0% chance that I don't die on the following turn. Okay. Cast Amalia. Hesitation pause there. Warhound triggers. I think we do have to kind of go for like the raise to pass situation here. Even shelter, I think I'm bypassing on. For another Chandler or another creature to trigger my Gorehounds. Bypass on that. Especially any lands, we'll keep that because we'll attack here and then we'll look to trade everything if we can. If our opponent messes up the turn or does something where we take damage, we can give this flying, like it'll have flying for the turn, so we can always block the Slick Shot. And there's my raise to pass, so they have to think about it. But they held up mana, and right now I guess I don't have a lot of ways to gain life. It's just more or less like there are a lot of blockers out there. This town, okay, sure. I still think my plan here is just double block. Or just even... I mean, try to remove that, I guess. If they put a burn spell on one of my creatures, I'm fist pumping. They're gonna die if they send the burn spell. Like, both my creatures die if they send the burn spell upstairs? Okay. They didn't mess that up. Good job, opponent. And then we now have questionable things to come. So, kind of some stuff to happen. So I suppose I just cast this first. Empty-handed opponent. A lot of surveilling going on here. Not a whole lot of life gain to be had, though. Yep. Okay. I say that's 4 lands. Okay. Alright. That might have just single-handedly been the worst look at a couple of cards I've seen in a very long time. I do think I'm going to attack here because it does have Menace. And then Amalia will trigger and we'll also gain a little and drain a little. I guess I'll keep the shelter. I don't know. Seems good to me. And I'll just put it on Amalia because Amalia will get a lot of life. I don't know what they grab here, though. They grab Burst Lightning to hit my Runelurker Bant. Oh, it's this town. And they play a land? Okay. They now have, arguably, the loop, right? Yeah, sure. That's fine. Sure. Sure. They unless they draw a land, they don't have like the full loop, which is okay. So now we just go into this on Amalia. Take care of this, and then we just win the game from there. it's crazy that I Shelter by Ghost when Shelter by Ghost is the revealed card on the top. They knew I drew that. Like they knew that was my card draw. And yet they still decided to cast this talent immediately. I don't know. Seems weird to me. Oh boy, an interesting one. Alright, well, I don't have to play around Shelter by Ghost anymore. So that's pretty cool. That card no longer exists in my opener. Probably mono black removal and discard. Or maybe just removal and they just have duress. Kind of weird because you play both because both are just good. Do have an awkward decision to make. Remove the Gorehound and then kind of have weird situations with the Chandler, or just kind of go that route. And for me, I think because I can play both of these creatures next turn, I just play this out. They get a little free information, but obviously I'm going to play that down while I can. If I do draw another one, like, that's just where I'm at. But yeah, so there is a slasher who starts to be slashing, right? So I go here, 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 and then I go here into here. Then I take here, and then this hit will put me above a cut down. So now they have to use something else to get my Chandler. I could go for the throat. Edict obviously doesn't do it either. There's a slasher. I'm not pumped about said slasher, but that's the name of the game, I suppose. A Steep Cavern bet here. Look. Go for the throat, duress, bloodletter. This card's dead. We don't care. Go for the throat's the only one I guess I'm annoyed with, even though bloodletter like matters a lot. But I can kind of just chump block this for days, right? But if they draw another land, they can always take out my other stuff. Doesn't matter, I don't think. Then I guess I'm gonna. I'm probably gonna block. Well, no, I'll just pass. I don't know. Even taking a hit from just this doesn't really matter that much to me either. But right now, if they don't hit a land, they have 2 deck cards in hand. I don't know, block like that maybe. Alright, well, now I don't have to worry about that. Here, I guess. Now my 4/2 can kind of attack freely. Alright. This is where this card was supposed to be in. I'm in there. I mean, if I was going to draw a land, I'm glad it's that one. You know what I mean? Now I have 7 damage, 8, 9 damage. And they just don't rip a land or draw anything they find useful. Alright, well, that's cool. We win that game. Alright, so to talk about the deck a little bit, as you probably experienced, this card never came up. We either won before it or the game was probably already decided before this card even mattered. So honestly, I think we're just going to be cutting it. I wanted it to be good. It's just too high mana with such like a bad, like low cost grab. I mean, I understand it's creatures with power 2 or less from your graveyard, so it can grab like any type of creature with power 2 or less. For example, it can grab slashers and things like that. The Smile of Death is cool overall. It's just kind of bad for what we did because like you hit lands, we can play a Smile of Death and then we get free stuff back every turn. But at the same time, I just don't think this is better than like Dewdrop. So let's just go look over here. I don't think it's better than this by any stretch of the imagination. I think this card is significantly better when it comes to this deck specifically. Obviously, things change whenever, you know, you talk about other type of decks. For example, if we were playing slashers, we probably would be wanting this if that kind of deck archetype exists for us. But other than that, we have just kind of played like this deck. Like realistically, even Raise the Past didn't come out of anything, but I do think a lot of our games were kind of won just off of I'm not sold the matches were as good as they could be. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to say like the games felt weird. It was not maybe the most optimal play, like even the aggro match, like the double monster rage. I don't think you're going to see that very often at higher ranks, but not to obviously downgrade anybody. You never know where anyone is in their experience in playing the game, or the fact that I am playing at 1:30 in the morning. How lubricated somebody might be. They might be drinking a little. You never know. So it's all in due time or due drop cure. You know what I'm saying? But with all that said and done, I hope y'all enjoyed. I know it's not super long. I just kind of wanted to play something, have fun. I got placed in gold, so it's typically where I get to play like kind of trolley decks and kind of work on some stuff that I am excited for when the new set comes out. There's a couple cards in it that I think Raised Past will absolutely be fond of and will work out much more favorably. Like getting Dark Confidant and stuff feels so good in a deck like this, outside of obviously this. If we get bullied by 4, if that's what it takes Arena to give me a Raise the Past after I've been begging 1 for 4 turns, I'll take 4 off of that and then just cast it and gain it all back. You know what I mean? With all that said and done, I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.